city of Nice. I would first like to warmly thank our President, Professor Christopher Gross, the MDS officers, and the International Congress Oversight Committee for choosing the French Riviera and the beautiful city of Nice to host this Congress. It is an honor for the French movement disorder community to host this outstanding meeting, and it is on their behalf that I welcome you all, physicians, researchers, and health professionals coming from all over the world. A great thank also to the member of the Congress Scientific Program Committee, chaired by Professor Gina, who did a fantastic job to make an exceptional scientific program that you will discover during the Congress. I would also like to thank my colleagues from the local organizing committee who tried to make everything attractive and comfortable so you can feel at home here in Nice. Last but not least, a great thank you to all the MDS staff, Jenny, Sarah, Kate, and all the team for their support during these 2 years of preparation. I really appreciated their availability, professionalism, and their kindness. I would like you to applaud them. The theme of the Congress this year is translating the science of movement disorders into clinical practice. I would like to take this opportunity to honor two of my mentors, who were two major founders of the School of Movement Disorders and Basal Ganglia in France. Professor Yves Agide, you all know, was at the head of the Department of Neurology and of a research team at the Pitié-Salpêtrière Hospital and created the Brain and Spinal Cord Institute, a translational research institute for neuroscience at the Pitié-Salpêtrière Hospital. Several movement disorder specialists were trained by Yves from France and all over the world. I would like to try a test. So Yves is here. Can you stand up, please? The test. I knew that Yves was capable of standing up. The test is all the people in the room who have been in touch with Yves, either for training or for collaborating or something else. Can you stand up, please? Look at your family. Thank you. In parallel, Jacques Loveski, a pharmacist and neurobiologist trained in the prestigious Institut Marais in Paris and in Axel Roth's lab in the 60s, took the chair of neuropharmacology at the Collège de France in Paris. A lot of researchers and clinicians were also trained in his lab, including Yves Agide, but also Stan Fan, Christopher Goetz, and myself, and many others. Yves and Jacques consistently worked together to facilitate the interaction between researchers and clinicians. Yves created the French Movement Disorder Club, Club des Mouvements Normaux, and a few years later, Jacques created the Basal Ganglia Club. Yves always encouraged clinicians to attend the Basal Ganglia Club, whereas Jacques pressed basic scientists to attend the Movement Disorder Club in order to confront their visions, questions, and to design experiments together. This tradition continued, and a joint meeting of the two clubs took place yesterday here in Nice. I sincerely hope this Congress will follow up on this tradition and continue to imprint this spirit of translational science in our community, particularly for the young generation. That's another picture of Yves, training us to movement disorders. As you see, he has some skills. And as you see here, there are followers. So good science, good networking, but you must also enjoy the beautiful city of Nice. Nice is a beautiful city near the Mediterranean Sea, full of history, palaces, art galleries, museums. It is also very dynamic, with major research centers and scientific laboratories, and a marine reserve. If you have the opportunity, you may visit the countryside with charming typical French villages, and I am sure you will enjoy the food and the people from south of France with their typical accents and their natural friendship. I wish you a great and successful Congress and a wonderful stay in Nice. And I would like now to introduce Christine Tranchant, who's professor of neurology in Strasbourg, and she's at the head of the French Neurological Society.
Thank you. Dear colleagues, first of all, I would like to thank Christopher Goetz and Jean-Christophe Corvol to have associated the French Society of Neurology to this Movement Disorder Congress. The French Society of Neurology has been founded in 1899 by Babinski, Souk, Pierre-Marie and Brissot. And I'm sure that you have heard about some of its famous members like Guillain, Barré, Lermite, Garcin, and in the field of movement disorder, Gilles de la Tourette or Medge, for example. So I'm very proud to represent here this French School of Neurology and to welcome you in Nice. The scientific committee has prepared a fantastic program, and I hope that you will enjoy your congress and your stay in France, in this nice city of Nice. So I wish you a very good evening and a very good congress.
Now I invite Professor Franck Duris from Clermont-Ferrand, who's at the head of the president of the French Movement Disorder Society.
Thank you, Jean-Christophe. So, good evening, everybody. And first of all, I would like to once again to thank the president of the Movement Disorder Society, Professor Goetz, as well as the Movement Disorder Society Committee for choosing France and in particular the beautiful city of Nice, for its annual meeting. As already mentioned by Professor Jean-Christophe Corvol, Professor Yves Agide created the Club des Mouvements Anormaux in 1986, and a whole generation of young neurologists have been able to discover or deepen their knowledge of abnormal movement thanks to the teaching done during video sessions. In the continuity of this club, the French Society of Movement Disorders was created at the initiative of Professor Jean-Philippe Azoulay, Christine Tranchant, Marc Vidaillet and myself, and this society is now affiliated to the MDS. The mission of this society is to continue the mission of the Club des Mouvements Anormaux, but also to organize national and international meetings. The first meeting was held in Paris in November 2018. The second took place this year in Nice on 20 September, just before the MDS. It was a meeting supported financially by the Movement Disorder Society and which allowed to bring together scientists and clinicians through a joint meeting with the French Society of Movement Disorders and the Bazar-Grenadier Club, which club created by Jacques Polinsky and now coordinated by Véronique Scandato, who is working in Lyon. The next meeting will take place in Strasbourg in November, and next year an international meeting will associate the Franco-French Society of Movement Disorders and the Society of Movement Disorders of Morocco, and will be held in Morocco in November 2020. In addition, Professor Olivier Rascol, neuropharmacologist and everyone knows, created in 2013 the LS-PAC Research Network that brings together 25 university hospital centers across France. The aim of this network, currently coordinated by Professor Rascol, Jean-Christophe Corvol and myself, is to carry out industrial and academic research projects dedicated to the pathology of the movement. Furthermore, since 3 years, a national cohort of PD patients was implemented in the 25 centers, including more than 20,000 patients. Several posters presented in Nice show the organization of the LS-PAC network and its first achievements. The Francophone Society of Movement Disorders and the NSPARC network thus make it possible to better organize training and education in the field of movement disorders at the national level, as well as to develop clinical and preclinical research in connection with the Basal-Ganglia Club and neuroscience research laboratories. I thank you for your attention and wish you an excellent meeting, hoping that you have the freedom to visit the Sun Family Place in Nice and its region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Frank. It's now my pleasure to introduce our president, Professor Christopher Goetz.
Well, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this wonderful city, and I think already we have a wonderful Congress. I want to again thank the local organizing committee for all the work that they have done in planning this. We've worked on this for over 2 years. I also need to thank Buzz Jenna, who is the person in charge of the Congress Scientific Organizing Committee, and they chose the program. Every bit of the curriculum that has been developed was thanks to Buzz and his group. There are 190 faculty from 34 countries representing delegates from 104 countries. There are 166 topic suggestions that were submitted by you, the membership, that we needed to review, and Buzz and his group developed 61 separate sessions that will be unveiled starting tomorrow. There were almost 2,200 abstracts that had to be reviewed and scored, and the poster sessions will show you the richness of that contribution, and many of you are authors, so we appreciate it. This is the whole group, and we worked hard, we worked continuously, and even to the last minute, we have been working on making sure that special plans. So I do thank this entire group, I think we all do. There are a couple of very important additional things about this Congress. We have a history of French pioneers in movement disorders. This is an exhibit with selected books and artifacts, as well as panels on neurological history. We've had some references to the luminaries that have graced this history, but there are additional bits of information. There are podcasts on many of the presentations that will be just coming through the week, and then thereafter. There's an International Congress mobile app that is very usable and very friendly to participants. And then there's also what we call the MDS Pavilion, in which a variety of different activities are going on throughout the day, so that if you are not quite ready to go into yet another session and to have a didactics, one might want to take advantage of the Pavilion, which is a different learning format, a different type of experience, all related, of course, to movement disorders. We've had a very good year in terms of communication, and our journals have done extremely well. Again, thanks to you you are mostly the authors, you are the people participating in the readership as well. The Movement Disorder Journal has had Jose Obeso as the editor. He's now retiring after 1 decade of service. And Kailash Bhatia and Marcelo Martello are continuing on as editors for the Movement Disorder Clinical Practice, now having its Index Medicus listing. So we are thankful as well for the great success of our journals. We also have, in terms of educational programs, 35 countries had programs this last year. They're really all over the world. These little red dots show you the breadth of the geography covered. And these are events that have mostly been in English, but some have been in native languages of the region. They've covered various formats, various topics, and these are based at the regional level so that we are addressing the regional and cultural elements that are needed within our international society. We've had expansion of our rating scale program, and currently we have 22 rating scales. I thank Glenn Stebbins and Pablo Martinez-Martin for organizing and managing this very complex program, but it has been a very, very successful one. And I want to just highlight, as of just a few days ago, this very luminous group have finished the non-motor symptom revision. so that we have a new validated scale that I think will be particularly popular for use, perhaps as a primary outcome, but I think across the board this will become very much used as a secondary outcome in terms of safety issues and all looking at whether motor symptoms, if they improve, what happens to the non-motor symptoms. So I think this group, volunteer work, doing very, very good scientific work with a new scale for us. So we've had collaborations, and I do want to acknowledge these. We've had the SAFRIC Foundation working with us. We've had the Michael J. Fox Foundation working with us, the Parkinson Foundation, also the American Academy of Neurology with a new and active program, and also the European Academy of Neurology. I would hope that we may be able to expand these collaborations, enrich those that we have, but expand them into other areas of the world, so if you have contacts with your national organization or other foundations that you would like us to pursue collaborations, I'm very, very willing to speak with you. And there's also the Critical Path Institute, which is part of the American, affiliated with the NIH and government. We have invested in the future, and so the Young Members Group is shown here. This is a picture from Vancouver, but it's a lovely one, so I wanted these young members, they're a little bit older now, and that's the way we have this continual enrichment of young members coming in, and those young members from the past moving up as their mentors, and this is a lovely cycle that sort of honors the life cycle itself. Now, it's one I have a special honor that I get to, as the president. I have one special duty, and I'm about to retire in terms of my presidential duties, so this is one of my last things that I get to do. But I get to give an award to one person who has influenced in some way, from my perspective, the field that we have. And so when I thought about this, I went back, and this is a portrait of Jean-Martin Charcot, who was really the first of the international neurologists, and located, of course, a Frenchman. And he wrote a very nice sentence that has touched me before, and it made me think about how I might incorporate this sentence into the choice that I have as the president to make this presidential award. So I quote Charcot, and he said, "To me, the practice of our specialty has no real autonomy. We exist by borrowing and making new applications of ideas from other disciplines. And without a constant reinfusion from other scientific domains, our work would soon become an outmoded routine." Which is a very forward thought here of, as neurology was developing, to think that, well, we want to sculpt our own area, but we also have to be conscious that we need the fertilization from other areas. So in thinking about this, I think that one person who has really made an enormous contribution has really made it in the area of cognitive neurology, and it's really changed the way we think about behavior as a non-motor symptom in terms of subcortical disease related to Parkinson's disease, and then even going further into Lewy body dementias and the overlap with Alzheimer's disease. So I think you can sort of hear my words. I'm going to give this award to my close colleague, Bruno Dubois. And I say it's charming to me to have seen Jean-Christophe's portrait of Eva Gide on one side and Jacques Lewinsky on the other side, because you could put Chris and Bruno there as the students of these two people, because we met when I was in France with a Fulbright grant studying at the Collège de France under Jacques Lewinsky, and Bruno was in the lab studying under Yves. And we met in Crossing, and I can still remember his little pipette as he did his exercise. But this is what I really remember him as, always holding a glass of wine and with this wonderful smile on his face. So, yeah. Bruno, can I have you come up and let me give you my award? Thank you for joining me, and congratulations. programs ready there. I give just a few more slides here. I want to thank the Secretariat. Jean-Christophe has already mentioned some, but this is the larger group, and you will see them during the Congress. And if you can just take the moment to say thank you, we could not do this work without. This is an enormously organized group. They are ready to help us. Everything is quite sophisticated in terms of their organization, but they're real people, and they do respond to a thank you, so I do ask her to do this. Final things for the future, even though we're starting this Congress, we are already thinking about the next Congresses. Just within this year, for the different sections of we have the Pan American section has a Congress in Miami. We have a summit in Europe, in Venice, for March of 2020. And in Tokyo, the 7th Asian Oceanic Congress will take place in March. So for those of you at the regional levels, to keep these in mind. And finally, for next year, even though we're just starting these, we're thinking about Philadelphia, which is where our next Congress will be. So I'm very pleased to keep those dates in mind and keep that momentum as we go through this year, be thinking about next year. And right after the meeting, the website we will be looking for your suggestions of what next year's program should be so that we can integrate that and make the best program that fits the membership's desires and where you feel the field is going. All right, so I would like to call Cindy Camella. She has a little bit of business here with our young members and the LEAP program. So thank you for your attention.
So the Movement Disorder Society LEAP program was established to provide leadership training to support the growth and development and success of young movement disorder specialists. The LEAP program began in 2015, so this is our 5th year, almost anniversary. And it's an application-based program in which 4 individuals are selected from each section, the AOS, the ES, and the POS, to go through this 1-year training in leadership. At this time, I would like to recognize the class of 2018. I would ask if you could please hold your applause until all the awardees have graduated. And with that, we'll have everybody come out. Come on out. We'll start with the MDS AOS graduates. Ming Kai Pan. Would you come on and get your... Pataman Hanya Kao. Jay Yusu. Jin Young Yoon. And now for the members of the European section, Bettina Balint. Margarita Fabri. Christos Enos. Ali Shat. And now for the PAS, we have Daniel Martinez Ramirez. And I believe that we have 3 members that could not attend from the PAS, and they include Mario Conejo Olivas, Lana Shahin, and Jorge Lira Guerra. So that completes the graduation for the 2018 year. Thank you.
So I have 3 pages of speech. No, I'm kidding. It's now time to enjoy the evening together, and it's my pleasure to invite you to the reception, which takes place at the 3rd level, maybe on the terrace if the weather permits it. Thank you very much.